iDubbbz has officially apologized for being iDubbbz. You haven't heard that wrong. Today, we're going to be looking at iDubbbz's most recent upload about the Froggy Fresh Drama. God, it is just a painful watch.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Brief update. I am healed from Creator Clash 2. It was a success. Alex Wasabi beat me up. He won his fight fair and square, and I have all the respect for Alex. He's a good competitor, and I have respect for all the other fighters on the Creator Clash card. And thank you to all the fans who came. It was an amazing event. I'm very happy. Very happy, very emotional. Awesome experience. I'll never forget it. Having said all that, you guys are here for the juice and the grease.
You see that sentence iDubbbz just said?
Having said all that,
if iDubbbz didn't kick Froggy Fresh from the card, it would have just been good and had minimal association with Sam Hyde. But here we are today, getting a 26-minute video of iDubbbz crying about Sam Hyde.
I have no idea what public perception for this video is going to be.
Oh, it's not very good. Unsurprisingly, the guy who became famous on the internet for telling people bullying was okay and being the ultimate edgelord, removing Froggy Fresh from his event just a few weeks before it was due to start, all because Froggy trained with Sam Hyde. That isn't going to go down well.
I need to bring you guys up to speed on where I'm at as a person and as a content creator. My philosophy for a while was, well, people will figure it out through the videos I make. But the problem is the videos I make, I sort of avoid speaking from the heart. I'm just going to focus on a thing, on a piece of content. I think I have bad associations with sharing my life on the internet. I'm like, no, that shouldn't be my thing. Like, leave that up to the vloggers. But I think it's important to share where I'm at, so none of what I'm talking about in this Froggy Fresh video feels like I'm being hypocritical.
Yeah, it's almost certainly going to come across as hypocritical. Just because you're going to say, I've changed, won't stop people seeing you as the person that made you popular. And that is no one's fault but your own. Thinking you can just wipe that from people's memories before diving into this video by saying a couple sentences is absurd. But without further ado, here is Ian apologizing for ever being iDubbbz.
I think a lot of the content I've made has been irresponsible and misguided. And I think I've hurt a lot of people with the content I've made. Despite many people being entertained by it, I'm not trying to take that away from you. If you feel like you've learned important lessons or you have grown as a person because of the content I've made, I don't want to take that away from you. With some good can come a lot of bad. And I think I've done a lot of bad. And, at the bare minimum, I've just put a lot of negativity out there in the world. And I'm working on not doing that.
Well, you never thought you'd see the day, but there it is. Ian then goes into the Froggy Fresh drama by straight up admitting it was because he collaborated with Sam Hyde.
The main reason Froggy was kicked from the card was for collaborating with Sam Hyde.
There was a lot of debate about this on Twitter, so iDubbbz finally just admitting it outright. He then says kicking Froggy Fresh wasn't about the OnlyFans jokes or interaction with Anissa's mum.
Unfortunately, he's been perpetuating a narrative that it's about OnlyFans or that it's about Anissa's mom, and that's extremely deceptive.
Personally, I definitely think it was both. Sam Hyde and Froggy Fresh saying them things. They've clearly demonstrated their emotions get the better of them in decision making. I definitely think they both played a part.
The one indication I gave him was Sam Hyde, and I wasn't unclear about that. Anyone who's mentioning the fact that Harley trained with Sam Hyde for the year previous, that was before Sam was saying this about my wife.
I don't think so, Anissa. Bitch. Ho. Fucking Anissa. What an ugly piece of shit. But look how beat she is. Oh, nice jack-o'-lantern teeth.
That's like
I can't wait to see what she looks like when she's 32. Her teeth look like a pumpkin head. Like it's the Anissa Joma hole stretcher. I'm sending this to Anissa's OnlyFans. It goes directly into charity.
Yeah.
Everybody hates him and his wife's a slut.
So yeah, now that this guy is on the daily insulting my wife, I think it's pretty fair to, not want to associate with him in any way.
Yeah, I agree. with you personally not associating with Sam Hyde anymore because he's insulting your wife. But who cares if Froggy Fresh trains with Sam Hyde a bit and posts some pictures to his Twitter? You're acting as if Froggy Fresh is the one who said these things about Anissa. But the one thing I don't get, Mr. I don't want to associate with Sam Hyde in any way, all you did completely by removing Froggy Fresh was make Sam Hyde's name way more attached to Creator Clash than he would ever have dreamed of. Had you just ignored the pictures Froggy Fresh posted training with Sam Hyde and acted like actual fight promoters, you wouldn't be sitting in your room crying for 26 minutes about Sam Hyde. And on top of all of that, and probably the worst thing about this drama, Chris Raygun wouldn't have been horribly mismatched with another fighter. All because you got your feelings hurt, not by Froggy Fresh, but by another guy that he trained with for a bit. Chris Raygun truly suffered the true consequences of all of this. Boxing isn't a game, and for you to have had him do that, all because you just couldn't stand the fact Froggy Fresh trained with Sam Hyde, is insane. I mean, look at this. Chris Raygun is 5'4". The guy they match him up with is 5'10" and 143 pounds. Chris Raygun only 137 pounds, and I guarantee you, on the night of the fight, and even just by looking at him, this guy weighed way more than 143 pounds. I mean, look at this guy and look at Chris Raygun. This is dangerous as fuck. Especially when the change is a few weeks out and all Chris Raygun did, all his preparation for his camp, was to fight someone his size. This to me is easily one of the worst parts of his drama, so leave a like to show some respect to Chris Raygun. Fuck iDubbbz for making him get in the ring with that guy.
We did ban Sam from the first event, so it's not as if he's confused about where he stands in all this.
So that means that Sam Hyde is banned from being in the vicinity of any Creator Clash athletes ever. Did you make every athlete in Creator Clash 2 sign like a little form that says they must avoid Sam Hyde at all costs? I bet Creator Clash 3 actually will have a clause like that now.
I don't like him. And Froggy knows that. Froggy knows that I don't like him. Of course. That's why he was banned. You know, none of this is like news to Froggy. Froggy knew all of this going into.
Guys, Froggy knew that Ian didn't like Sam Hyde, so now Froggy has to hate Sam Hyde too. Ian said so. What is this playground bullshit?
For anyone who's under the impression that Froggy has been like reasonable and chill and respectful through this whole process, he hasn't been. He's been a piece of shit. I'm not happy with how he's behaved. He's talked mad shit about me.
Ian doesn't want people who are bigger and more talented than him upstaging him. That's what it is.
Anissa.
Ian's masculinity had been completely removed via Anissa.
Participants of the event.
This is really a lot of weird, tender, soft people. Creator Clash people are real like these type of people. You know what I mean?
The event itself.
This is really like the patty cake league for like social media boxing. You know?
He doesn't like the culture of Creator Clash, and he mentioned that.
And Chris Raygun and all these people, it's like some big ethos worshiping party at these things. And I don't get it. I don't get what all this shit is all about. But everybody's there to worship ethos or fucking ethos or like touching ethos titty or pussy.
iDubbbz called Froggy deceptive at the start of this video, when I'm pretty sure that the majority of the clips iDubbbz shown, if not all of them, are from after the fact Froggy Fresh got kicked.
To be honest, I thought it was quite the gift to you that we'd kick you off the card. You have no more obligations, and you can immediately just pivot into boxing for misfits. It's like, that's the culture that you want. You want the non-sissy, you want the macho dude, traditional boxing culture, so go over there and box for them. You don't even have to miss that many months of training. You've been training. So hop on one of those cards. But unfortunately, Froggy doesn't want to hop on one of those cards because he thinks the skill level is too high.
Personally, in my opinion, I think the talent at Misfits and Happy Punch is in a different league that is out of my league.
Footwork is amazing.
So iDubbbz, Mr. I don't want to bully anyone anymore.
I've just put a lot of negativity out there in the world, and I'm working on not doing that.
Making fun of Boogie and Wings for, trying to box despite their size. They're actually putting in the work. That isn't very cool of you at all, man. That's not the new iDubbbz I like. Also, he cherry picks fights from Misfits to prove his point.
Footwork is amazing.
Be out the sand lot and I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing.
And then right here, it's down. You stop. I mean, come on. It turns quickly from boxing to a...
Without a shadow of a doubt, Misfits roster has way more high-level fighters than Creator Clash. That is just a complete fact. Most of the people on Creator Clash, it is their first time boxing. Froggy Fresh is right, there's definitely a massive skill gap. Whereas the people who fight on Misfits, usually they're reoccurring fighters and have had way more experience. iDubbbz is just being petty with these points.
So I'm done with boxing. I can fulfill my current obligations. If for some reason Creator Clash changed their mind, I could fulfill my current obligations. I'm not interested in going further in any other boxing.
It's such a fucking cop-out that you're like, all right, I'm such a victim for getting kicked off the Creator Clash event when I knew what would get me kicked off the Creator Clash event.
Did he though? Did he know that was going to get him kicked? Is it in his contract that he would get kicked for being near Sam Hyde? Ian then shows text from after the fact he saw Froggy hanging out with Sam Hyde.
If you look at my text exchange with Froggy, it's very clear that I didn't want to kick him from the card. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want you working or training with Sam Hyde, but you're doing that, so all right, I'll look past it. I don't want you making content with Sam Hyde, but it seems like that's a real deal breaker for you, so I guess I'll look past it. It came to the point where I was like, can you postpone releasing content with Sam Hyde?
Ian dictating all of this to Froggy Fresh just because he doesn't like Sam Hyde. To me, that's insane. It's not like Froggy Fresh has grabbed Sam Hyde and is now insulting Anissa with him, or even iDubbbz or Creator Clash. If anything, at least Froggy Fresh is doing some promotion for the fucking thing and getting people talking. Look, Sam Hyde being with Froggy definitely got people talking, but it would have settled down before the event began. You wouldn't have had the hysteria and drama about Sam Hyde taking over Creator Clash like it did if you just left it alone. The only reason this Sam Hyde narrative was amplified to 1,000 was because of what iDubbbz and Anissa did. They completely brought this on themselves, and here we are weeks later after Creator Clash, still fucking talking about it because of iDubbbz. For someone who doesn't want to be associated with Sam Hyde, you're making all the wrong moves. I feel like everyone had moved on from Creator Clash. Like, no one was talking about it anymore in my timeline or my feed or anywhere else. But now, look where we are. It's back in the forefront of everyone's mind. Sam Hyde is now associated with Creator Clash 2. Ultimately now, forever, it will be in history. It will be in stone because iDubbbz and Anissa just don't know what they're doing. iDubbbz then shows Froggy Fresh posting content with Sam.
I didn't even plan on releasing none of the Sam Hyde content until after the event.
If you don't know who Sam Hyde is, whether or not you love him or hate him, you have to recognize him as he's the most talented comedian alive. He's the most talented comedian of our generation. He's gonna probably be the greatest comedian of all time. He's he's a genius. I got a chance to go out there and train with him. He welcomed me into his environment. He paid people to train me.
Including, and this is like bizarre to me, retweets he made on his Twitter profile that have nothing to do with Creator Clash. Things like Sneeko vs Moist Critical and Froggy retweeting Sam Hyde's tweets about fighting Hassan, and Ian highlights it in orange, Froggy Fresh retweeted. So now Froggy Fresh just can't interact with Sam Hyde's Twitter account at all either. Even ones that have absolutely nothing to do with Creator Clash, because iDubbbz doesn't like Sam Hyde. Like, what the fuck? You don't own him because he's signed to fight with you. And this outrageous content that you're showing of Froggy Fresh and Sam Hyde is literally just pictures of them training together.
I didn't even plan on releasing none of the Sam Hyde content until after the event.
Didn't you tell them that? I thought you told them that.
Ian requested it through text. He requested that I did that. What I didn't like that he requested that, because I don't think that's appropriate. I was like,
He didn't think it was appropriate. I do not think that that is appropriate. Do you think it's appropriate that, I don't know, 30-something-year-old man is publicly calling my wife a whore and a slut?
Froggy wasn't the one who fucking said it. Oh, you trained with someone I don't like and they said inappropriate things. Imagine iDubbbz trying to lecture you on what is appropriate to say and kicking you off the event, not because you said those inappropriate things, but because you trained for a bit with someone else who did. I really actually can't wrap my head around the fact that iDubbbz just didn't know or foresee that kicking Froggy Fresh off Creator Clash 2 would have had the complete opposite effect that he wanted it to have. Everything iDubbbz has done, including this video, has just played into Sam Hyde's hand. And it's clear Sam Hyde has way too much power over iDubbbz's emotion, because it's clearly influenced his decisions in the worst possible way. Poor Chris Raygun, man. Never stood a chance. All that training Chris did, all the work, for weeks before the event, get told, you're now fighting Goliath. Good luck, buddy.
I think initially you can just buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this has got a separate Etsy page where she sells her pussy.
Yoko Ono was too concussed to fight in Creator Clash for the 2nd year in a row.
Life is so easy for a certain gender. All you have to do is say that my uterus hurts. What'd she say this time? Her uterus hurts? Her uterus fell out?
She had another concussion.
Probably your uterus fell out from getting blown out so much by toys.
Is that appropriate, Froggy? Do you think that's appropriate?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay, you don't think it's appropriate that I set boundaries. I don't think it's appropriate that you are hanging out with a guy who doesn't think women are people.
What the fuck is this argument? When, in any of the clips shown by Ian, did Sam Hyde say he doesn't think women are people? He clearly doesn't like Anissa and iDubbbz. That comes through. And he's ripping into them and insulting them. Nothing he said iDubbbz hasn't said in the past or worse. But I haven't seen anything in the video that shows Sam Hyde doesn't think women are people.
When I can't release content, like, this is my career. It's what I do for a living.
But you complied with it, right?
But I was going to anyways, but I didn't like people telling me that. I thought that was out of line.
I don't know why he's saying that he was planning on waiting to post Sam Hyde content. We have the Twitter timeline of him nonstop posting Sam Hyde content. It's fucking weird.
I love this part. I love how iDubbbz uses Froggy Fresh retweeting Sam Hyde tweets again that have nothing to do with Creator Clash in this very weak and brief compilation of Froggy Fresh non-stop posting about Sam Hyde.
We have the Twitter timeline of him non-stop posting Sam Hyde content.
If it was so relentless and non-stop, you wouldn't have to resort to using irrelevant retweets as your evidence, and it would also last longer than 5 seconds on screen. What he shows of Froggy Fresh actually posted on his Twitter were 4 pictures he posted. And all it was is him and Sam Hyde training in a ring. And he calls that non-stop posting. It's a fucking picture. It's barely content. I've never even considered anything I post on Twitter as content.
I don't know if he thought it was like a loophole to post on Twitter about Sam Hyde.
Loophole against what? Was there a section to the contract where he wasn't allowed to mention Sam Hyde or even retweet or interact with Sam Hyde on Twitter, since that also seems to be your criteria for content now?
If I go to Providence, Rhode Island and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content. And it's got nothing to do with you. Not everything that people do with Sam Hyde involves iDubbbz, and I think that he misinterprets that.
We're not talking about people. We're talking about what you do with Sam Hyde, because you're in my event. I wish there were many layers of separation so I really could be that disconnected. Unfortunately, I have to be around you. You have to fight at my event. I have to share the same space as you know, in the parties, at the event itself, and I don't want to do that. I have no interest in sharing that space with you.
Holy fuck. I mean, you don't have to suck the guy's cock. Ian, he's fighting at your event. And he trained for Sam Hyde for a bit and posted some pictures. The fact that causes you to have this reaction is mind-blowing. Everyone, from now on, if you want to be in Creator Clash and you want to box for iDubbbz, you have to only hang out with people iDubbbz likes. Otherwise, his feelings get hurt and he doesn't want to share the same space as you. Get a fucking grip, man. Not everyone gets on in life. You and Froggy Fresh clearly didn't have a problem with each other at the start because you put him on your event. Your problem with him was that he liked someone who doesn't like you, so now he can't fight your event. But what, does everyone who fights at Creator Clash have to love iDubbbz and Anissa and can't hang out with anyone who doesn't dare not like you? But again, let's just remember the true hero of this story. Having to suffer just so iDubbbz didn't have to breathe the same air as the guy who breathed the same air as the guy he didn't like. iDubbbz says another reason Froggy was kicked was because of this tweet. Froggy sent this 2 days before it was announced he was kicked, by the way. Context iDubbbz leaves out.
Another thing that contributed to Froggy getting kicked was that he tweeted at Nathan Barnett, aka Dad. He said, "Dude, I tried hyping you up at Denny's when we ate dinner, and they said they weren't fucking with you and that you were going to lose to AB. They don't even like you."
Well, I think first of all, is it true what he said? Because if it's true, then he's just telling Dad what he heard. Secondly, since it was 2 days before you kicked him, I'm sure you guys already made a decision already. Before iDubbbz was telling Froggy Fresh what to do and what he could post and all this shit, Froggy Fresh wasn't bad-mouthing iDubbbz and Anissa. So at this point in time, when he made that tweet, it's probably understandable that he didn't like iDubbbz and Anissa anymore. But on top of that, it's not even that bad of a tweet. And if it's true, then what's the problem?
The problem is when you tweet shit out like this and you have the text message exchange that Froggy had with me, I don't think you have good intentions. You're like trying to ruin a relationship between me and one of my friends.
Well, iDubbbz, if you said it behind your friend's back, and all Froggy Fresh did is relay that message, you're the one chatting shit behind your friend's back, so you're ruining it. It's not Froggy's fault you told him. You still haven't said Froggy lied about it.
Froggy deleted that tweet, and I don't think he deleted it because he felt differently. I think he deleted it because he knew that it could potentially get him kicked from the event and would also make him look like an asshole. But he basically reiterated that same thing in a Twitter space.
When I was at fucking Denny's, I was all like telling them, "Yo, Dad's a fucking savage," and they're all like, "No, Dad doesn't spar with high level fucking competition. He's gonna lose to AB." And I'm thinking, these motherfuckers are.
So who said that? Who said that?
Fucking Ian and Anissa, like that's the way these motherfuckers are. And then they got Dad like riding for them. They don't even. And if like I wouldn't be like this, but if everybody's gonna keep calling me out like I'm the fucking person that's fucking shit up, like that Dad's out here riding for them. They're all like, they don't even fucking give a fuck about him.
Again, doesn't say that it was a lie. All he does next is go on to say that Sam Hyde said something bad in the same Twitter space.
And in the same Twitter space where Froggy says this, Sam Hyde, Froggy's hero, calls Nathan a racist like several times. I don't want anything to do with Sam. I don't want anything to do with people that think what Sam is doing is okay.
Always comes back to Sam Hyde every time. I don't know what that's got to do with what Froggy Fresh was saying, but again, this was after the fact Froggy got kicked. Also, what Froggy tweeted must not have been a lie then. Didn't hear iDubbbz say any differently. If he's telling Dad the truth, then I see absolutely no problem with that tweet. If you're such great friends with Dad, maybe don't chat shit about him behind his back.
Sam Hyde has made it a habit to try to sound like a reasonable person by saying, if Ian and Anissa just asked, I'll stop harassing them.
Yeah, if Ian ever hit me up and was like, "Hey man, can you leave me alone?" I'd fuck it. I'd stop talking about him. Whatever. I don't care that much. If you ask me to stop, I'll stop.
Which on its face is already an insane thing to say. Of course, no one wants to be harassed.
Harassed? Really, iDubbbz? You're gonna say that someone talking about you negatively online is being harassed? Yeah, this is where I think I'm done watching this video. To be honest, I can't believe I survived this long. The video was complete shit. Probably the worst iDubbbz video I've ever watched. I mean, iDubbbz, you can only do the things you're doing today. The boxing event, the money you have, by going after people online, saying it was okay to bully people and saying the most edgy, outrageous shit you could. This guy now saying that Sam Hyde talking about his wife and iDubbbz in a negative way is harassment. It's probably the funniest thing in this video. Here's a thought, iDubbbz. If you really truly feel like you hated yourself in the past and you really feel bad about every video you made before, go give every penny you earn in ad revenue to charity, you know? That will cleanse your soul. That will make you feel better. Because surely someone like yourself doesn't want to financially benefit off the harassment of other people. Oh, no. That dirty harassment money, I think that should be put to better use. But before you all leave, let's remember the true victim of all of this.
You have to fight at my event. I have to share the same space as you know, in the parties, at the event itself, and I don't want to do that. I have no interest in sharing that space with you. Another thing I want to make clear is that the decision to kick Froggy from the card isn't just for like me and Anissa's comfort.